Hi everyone, this is Rosie, and today I'd like to demonstrate how to shorten a zipper, add zipper tabs, and then sew it into your project with no dent sides. A couple of years ago I did a video where I demonstrated how to make this double zipper pouch. I demonstrated in that video my method for avoiding the dents that you get into the sides of the pouch when you put in your zipper. This one I did without zipper tabs. Today I'd like to show you another technique on how to prevent those dent sides, but this time we'll do it with zipper tabs. To demonstrate the techniques, I've drafted up a very simple pattern to make a small pouch. This will be my exterior fabric here. It's 100% cotton quilting fabric and it's been interfaced with SF101. And then I have this fabric here which will be for the lining. It's also 100% cotton quilting fabric. I have a polyester zipper, and you can see it's much longer than it needs to be, but I'm going to show you how I shorten those. And then I have my zipper tabs. First, let's talk about the size that you need to cut out your zipper tabs. The width of the zipper tab is determined by the width of your zipper. I have a number 3 zipper here. The width of my zipper is 1 inch, so my zipper tab needs to be 1 inch wide. Next, you want to determine how long the zipper tab needs to be, and that's going to depend on how deep you want your zipper tab to be. I have a pouch that I've already made here, and I decided I wanted my zipper tab to be 1/2 inch deep. So you will take the depth of the zipper tab and multiply that times 4, and 1/2 inch times 4 is 2 inches. So my zipper tab needs to be 2 inches long. So based on the zipper that you're using and how deep you want your zipper tab to be, you can calculate what size you need to cut out your zipper tab. Next, we have to shorten the zipper, and to shorten the zipper we need to determine the length of zipper tape that we need. So what I like to do is take my exterior and I'm going to mark in 1/2 inch from each top edge. You only need to do this on one of your exteriors. You don't need to do it on both. And I like to give myself a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to mark in 1/2 inch on each side. Then I'm going to take my ruler and measure the distance between these two marks. And it's 6.5 inches. So that means the total length of my zipper with the zipper tabs attached needs to be 6.5 inches. So the first thing that I'll do is take the zipper and cut off the end that has the zipper stop on it. You want to try and cut it straight across. You want a nice straight edge there. Just like that. Then I'll take the zipper and lay it down, and with my ruler I want to measure 6.5 inches up from this end. So I'll just place the ruler down, make sure that I'm at my 6.5 inch mark, and then I'm just going to make a mark right there at the 6.5 inch point. Next, and this is really important, you want to take the end with the zipper pull. You want to pull it down past those marks, but make sure that you don't pull it all the way off. Then I'm going to take one of my zipper tabs and I'm going to clip it with my edges even, so the edge of the zipper tab with the cut edge of the zipper, and I'm going to clip it in place. I'll just put one clip here on each side. And then at the sewing machine we're going to sew 1/2 inch away from this cut edge. When we're done sewing that, we're going to go ahead and put the two ends of the zipper tape together, matching up that mark, and we want to baste right across the zipper teeth here, a little bit below the black marks. And then after we're done with that, we can go ahead and add the zipper tab on the other end of the zipper. I'm sewing on the Janome Continental M7 Professional Sewing Machine. I'm going to sew on that first zipper tab with a 1/2 inch seam. I'm using a stitch length of 2.4. You do want to back stitch. Try and keep your seam nice and straight. Now I'll baste the two sides of the zipper together. And you do want to back stitch over the teeth a couple of times to hold everything nice and securely into place there. Then after you have that basted together, just go ahead and cut right on your black lines. Next, take the other zipper pull and clip it to the edge of the zipper just like you did before. Everything is clipped into place, and now I can go ahead and sew on this zipper tab, and again I'm going to sew with a 1/2 inch seam. After the zipper tabs are sewn into place, take off the clips, take one end of the zipper tab and pull it up, turn everything over, fold this edge right here at the top down to the raw edge of the zipper there, just like this, and then you're going to fold everything back this way. Now this folded edge here should be just covering your stitching right here. And then go ahead and hold it together with some clips. And do the same thing on the other side. Take the exterior piece that you marked for the placement of the zipper, and you want to place this zipper within those marks. So I'm just going to temporarily remove that clip. Now this has not been secured yet, but don't worry about that because we're going to take care of that later. And this is going to go within the marks, but you need to do that from the right side of the fabric. So look at where your mark is, and then line the end of that zipper tab up with your mark. And then you can put your clip back there. And then do the same thing on this side. Line up with your mark. So the end of the zipper tab gets lined up with that black mark. And put back your clip. And then you can go ahead and clip along the length of the zipper here. And I am going to leave this zipper partially open because when I start sewing, this zipper pull cannot be in the way. So we're going to start from here. We're only stitching across the zipper. There's no need to go end to end. So you're not going from the end of the exterior to the opposite end of the exterior. We're just sewing in between where the zipper tabs are. And we'll sew this on with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I have the zipper tab placed under the presser foot right now, and what I like to do before I lower down that presser foot is I just want to drop that needle down into place, and that's going to hold everything for me. And now I'm going to take a couple of stitches forward, and then I will reverse. Try and keep your zipper, the end of the zipper tape, even with the edge of the exterior there. And then just sew straight across. When you get to the zipper pull, stop with your needle down and your foot up, and then pull that zipper pull past the presser foot. And then you can finish sewing across. I like to hold the zipper tab in place here so that it doesn't get shifted out of position. And then backstitch at the end of the zipper tab. Now that we have one side of the zipper sewn in, you'll go ahead and pin the other exterior piece to the opposite side of the zipper and sew it in exactly the same way. I have my second exterior piece clipped to the opposite side of the zipper. When you clip everything together, make sure that all of your side edges are even. And again, go ahead and sew it in exactly the same way you sewed in the first side. After sewing the zipper to the exterior pieces, you want to take one of your lining pieces and we're going to clip it to one side of the zipper. So the zipper will be sandwiched in between your exterior and your lining piece. You'll clip it all along the length, and then when you're done clipping it, we're going to go ahead and sew, and we'll sew right over this previous line of stitching, and this time we're going to sew all the way from one end to the other. My lining is all clipped into place. Again, we'll follow that previous line of stitching, but this time we're going to stitch from edge to edge. One thing that you always need to be mindful of is where your zipper pull is. You don't want your zipper pull to interfere with the presser foot as you're sewing. So I'm going to start with the zipper pull half open, and then we'll have to move that around as we approach that zipper pull. You want to backstitch at both ends. Now I'm at my zipper pull, so I will stop with the needle down, the foot is up, and I'll just move that pull past the foot. Try and make sure that all of your top edges here are staying even. Now you can go ahead and sew in the other piece of lining to the other side of the zipper. Now that the lining is sewn into place, we want to finger press and then take your iron and press everything nicely. Do this on both sides. Finger press away from the zipper and then press. After you've pressed both the exterior and the lining away from the zipper, you want to take a look at the seam where the exterior and the lining meet, and that seam should be laying right at the top. And now we're ready to top stitch. We're going to do our top stitching 1/8 of an inch away from this edge right here. You'll sew all the way down. When you get to here, which you should be about 1/8 of an inch away from the end of this zipper tab, you're going to pivot. You'll sew across the zipper tab 1/8 of an inch away from this edge. Then you'll pivot again. You'll sew all the way up the side, and then you want to sew 1/8 of an inch away from this edge of the zipper tab. You'll come to here, pivot, and then we'll finish. And when you do that sewing, it's actually going to be catching the lining, so you'll have your top stitching on the lining, and it's also going to close up this opening right here on both ends of the zipper tab. I'm starting my top stitching and I'm using a stitch length of 3.0. I'm going to use the middle of the toe of the foot right here as my 1/8 inch guide. You don't need to backstitch right now. And now I'm going to pivot, and I'll sew across that zipper tab. I'll pivot again and sew up the other side. I'm just going to move my pull out of the way. And I'll sew across this zipper tab. And now I'll finish up just by sewing a little bit over these original stitches right here and then backstitch. The top stitching is done, and if we turn it over, you'll see that the lining has also been top stitched, and we have top stitching across both of the zipper tabs. The next thing that we want to do is fold back the lining, and you want to open up this seam here. Because we didn't sew all the way to the end with the top stitching, you should be able to fully open these seams for at least a half of an inch. You want to give it a nice little pressing with some steam. You want this seam to be nice and flat here. And do the same thing on this side. And then you want to go ahead and open and press down the seams on this side as well. Now that we have those seams pressed open nice and flat, we want to pin the exterior and the linings together. So what I like to do is make sure that my zipper tab is facing up towards the lining, just like this. And then you want to make sure that your seams here are perfectly lined up. Just like this. Now you can either put in a clip or a pin to hold that in place. It's up to you. But the thing is, you don't want those seams shifting apart from each other. Then you can go ahead and clip all around the exterior and the lining. And then you also want to make sure that you clip this end together in exactly the same way. So the zipper tab will be up towards the lining, and those seams should be perfectly lined up. I have the exterior and the lining sides all clipped together now. I'm leaving myself a generous opening for turning. Make sure that your zipper is open. If it's closed right now and you sew this together, you're not going to be able to turn the pouch right side out. So the zipper must be open. Now, to sew this, I am going to use a zipper foot. And you want to have a foot that's going to clear the zipper tab here. There's a lot of bulk here, and you don't want to catch your zipper tab. So have a foot that you can use that's going to glide right past that zipper tab. Most domestic machines do come with a zipper foot. I have my zipper foot installed, all ready to go. I'm sewing with a stitch length of 2.4, and I'm just going to let the edge of that foot ride along the edge of my fabric. You do want to back stitch. Now I'm right where that zipper tab is, and this should just glide right past the zipper tab. and then backstitch when you get to the end. After sewing the lining and the exterior pieces together, I'm just going to clip all of my curves, and then I want to press these seams open. And I'll show you quickly how I like to press them open. Make sure that you don't clip through your seams. I like to take my point turner and just get it right in between the seam there. And I can just push it through and fold back the seam, and then I can press. It just makes it a lot easier to iron everything open. So I'll finish this and then we'll turn everything right side out and take a look at our result. And I'll start turning this right side out. Get my fingers into all the curves there and push those out. You'll go ahead and sew that lining closed. And after we push the lining back into the pouch, you want to take your point turner, and where those zipper tabs are, you want to get underneath the zipper tab and just push up. When you push it up, those sides should pop out for you. And then you'll give everything a very nice pressing. And here is the final result. Well, I hope that you found this video helpful. I would like to thank all of you who have liked my videos and subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't already done so, I would love to have you as a subscriber. So please like and subscribe.